In the words of Mark 9:35, "If anyone desires to be first, he shall be last of all and servant of all." This profound paradox sits at the heart of spiritual authority, especially within the sacred covenant of marriage. But what does it mean to be last of all and servant of all within the context of a marriage? To understand this, we can look to Jesus, who is the perfect embodiment of this principle. The Gospel of John, chapter 13, verses 3 to 5, provides a vivid depiction of Jesus, who, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, rose from supper, laid aside his garments, took a towel and girded himself, and began to wash the disciples' feet. This act, humble and intimate, was far more than a simple gesture of cleanliness. It was a demonstration of servant leadership, a powerful expression of love and respect. Jesus, despite his divine authority, chose to serve. He became the last, the servant, to show his disciples and us the true nature of spiritual authority. In the context of marriage, this act takes on even deeper significance. A godly husband, in following Jesus' example, is called to be a servant leader in his marriage. This doesn't mean he's lesser or weak. On the contrary, it is a position of strength, respect, and deep, abiding love. It's about laying aside the garments of pride, ego, and self-interest, and girding oneself with humility, patience, and unconditional love. It's about serving your spouse not out of obligation, but out of genuine love and respect. It's about washing the feet of your wife, metaphorically speaking, showing her that you value her, honor her, and are committed to serving her. This is the paradox of spiritual authority. In striving to be first, we must be willing to be last. In seeking to lead, we must be ready to serve. And in this delicate balance, we find the true meaning of godly leadership in marriage. Just as Jesus did, a godly husband must embody servant leadership in his marriage. Do you love your wife? This question may seem simple, but let's delve into what love truly means. When it comes to love, the Greek language is far more precise than English. It uses three distinct words to express different forms of love: eros, phileo, and agape. Each one has an important role in the intricate dance of marriage. Let's start with eros. Eros is the initial love that sparks the attraction between a man and woman. It's the passionate, physical love that stirs desire and builds intimacy. It's the love that Scripture speaks of when it says, "Drink water from your own cistern and running water from your own well. Rejoice with the wife of your youth." Proverbs 5:15, 18. Eros is a beautiful gift from God, designed to be enjoyed within the sacred covenant of marriage. However, Eros has a downside. It's essentially selfish. It takes, often wanting to give nothing in return. Next, we have phileo. This is the love of friendship. It's based on mutual enjoyment, shared experiences, and a deep emotional connection. Phileo takes, yes, but it also desires to give. It's a love that grows from the pleasure or delight one finds in the loved one. It's the love that makes a couple not just lovers, but best friends. Finally, we have agape, the highest form of love. Agape springs from a sense of the preciousness of the object. Unlike eros and phileo, agape isn't determined by the lovability of the object. It's determined by the character of the one who loves. Agape is not just a feeling, it's a choice. It's the deliberate decision to love, no matter what. It's unconditional. It's the kind of love God commands us as husbands to love our wives with. The world's love is often object-oriented, based on physical attractiveness, personality, or other appealing traits. But this kind of love is fickle. It can fade when the trait that is found lovable diminishes, or when someone more talented or attractive comes along. That's why, as godly husbands, we are called to a higher standard. We are called to love with agape love. We are called to love our wives not because of what they do for us or how they make us feel, but because of who they are, precious children of God entrusted to our care. In a godly marriage, all three forms of love are important. Eros brings closeness and intimacy. Phileo fosters friendship and emotional connection. But it's agape that holds everything together when the road gets tough, when the initial spark fades, when the feelings come and go. Agape is the love that chooses to stay, to forgive, to keep giving, even when it's hard. Understanding these three forms of love is crucial for a godly husband to fulfill his role in a marriage. Because love in its purest form is more than just a feeling, it's a commitment, it's a choice, it's a way of life. Eros is the initial love that attracts a man and woman together. It's that intoxicating spark that ignites the flame of attraction, bridging the gap between two hearts. In the context of marriage, Eros plays a significant role. one that goes beyond the realm of mere physical attraction. Eros is the bond that fosters intimacy and closeness between a husband and wife. It's the language of love expressed in the silence of a shared touch, a comforting embrace, a tender kiss. This physical love is a symbol of unity, a testament to the oneness of a couple. It's an integral part of the divine command to be fruitful and multiply, and a source of fulfillment of a God-given desire that is meant to be satisfied only within the sanctity of marriage. Drawing from the wisdom of Proverbs, we're reminded to drink water from your own cistern and running water from your own well. Let them be only your own and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of your youth. This highlights the exclusivity of Eros within the marital bond, encouraging couples to find joy and satisfaction within each other. In his letter to the Corinthians, Paul underscores the importance of Eros in marriage. He urges, "Let the husband render to his wife the affection due her, and likewise also the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does." This mutual surrender speaks volumes about the selfless nature of love in a godly marriage, where the needs and desires of the other are prioritized. However, it's essential to remember that while Eros is a crucial component of marriage, it can also be inherently selfish, seeking to take without giving in return. It's a love that can be intoxicating and exhilarating, but it must be handled with care, balanced with other forms of love, to ensure a healthy, thriving marriage. Although Eros is essential, it is not the sole form of love in a marriage. It is the beginning, the spark, but it needs the warmth of phileo and the depth of agape to truly set a marriage ablaze. Phileo is a friendship type of love that desires to give as well as take. It's like the bond between close friends, where the relationship is nurtured by mutual respect, shared interests, and a deep understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. In the context of marriage, filial love plays a vital role. It's the tenderness you feel when your spouse laughs at your jokes. It's the comfort you find in their presence during times of distress. It's the joy you experience when you're sharing a quiet moment together, devoid of any distractions. This form of love stems from the pleasure or delight one draws from the loved one. It's the little things, the shared smiles, the inside jokes, the shared dreams that build this emotional connection. Filio adds depth to a marriage, providing a solid foundation for the relationship. But remember, as enriching as filio is, it is not the highest form of love. Agape is the highest form of love. It springs from a sense of the preciousness of the object. This love is the kind that transcends the physical and emotional. It's the love that chooses to love regardless of the circumstances. It's the love that sees beyond the surface, that understands the essence of the person and chooses to love them unconditionally. In the sacred bond of marriage, agape plays an indispensable role. It's the kind of love that holds a marriage together through the storms of life. It's the love that persists through trials and tribulations, through sickness and health, through richer or poorer. It's the love that says, "I choose you every single day." Agape is not swayed by the physical attractiveness, the personality, the wit, or the prestige of the loved one. It's not a love that's fickle or fleeting. It's a love that's steadfast and enduring. It's a love that's based not on the lovability of the object, but on the character of the one who loves. And this, dear friends, is the kind of love God commands us as husbands to love our wives with. A love that's patient, kind, and does not envy. A love that does not boast, is not proud, does not dishonor others, is not self-seeking, is not easily angered, and keeps no record of wrongs. A love that does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. A love that always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This is the love that we, as husbands, are called to embody in our marriages. A love that chooses to serve rather than to be served. A love that gives without expecting anything in return. A love that forgives and seeks forgiveness. A love that is rooted in the example of Jesus, who loved us to the point of laying down his life for us. Agape is the kind of love God commands us as husbands to love our wives with. It is the love that endures, that chooses to love even when it's hard. This is the love that truly embodies the essence of a godly marriage. Now that we have explored the role of a godly husband in a marriage, you might be wondering about the role of a godly wife. In our upcoming video, we'll delve into her responsibilities, challenges, and the unique love she brings. Stay tuned for our next video where we delve into the significant role of a godly wife in a marriage. God bless you.